everyone. First and foremost, Happy New Year. 2022, right?
We're here. We did it. We made it to 2022.
Yes.
Go us. Well,
So,
welcome everyone.
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm so excited to spend time with you on this Monday evening with our friends that are here, our new friends. I think I saw a couple of repeat people, which is always lovely to see. And we're back at it again with a Clean Beauty Masterclass. Nichelle did our very first one last year. So who better to kick off a new year than with the master herself, the mistress of the Clean Beauty Masterclass.
Thank you, ma'am. So yes, of course, I saw a lot of cool mentions in our chat, and I just want to welcome everyone to Hydration Heroes. Before we get started, we're gonna do some quick introductions, and then we're gonna have some good time. So. At any point, please, you have all found your chat box, utilize it, use it. We do have some questions that we will be answering, but if something comes up and you're like, I'm not quite clear about that, please let us know, okay? All right, so Ms. Katie, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would love to. Thank you so much. As Michelle mentioned, my name is Katie. I am Jane's digital and social media manager. So I lead up all things social on our social channels. I do some things for the website. And I am very lucky to co-host our Masterclass series with wonderful people like Michelle Turner.
Fantastic. Hello, everyone. My name is Nichelle Turner, and I'm the National Makeup Artist and Educator here at Jane. Just a little bit about my background. I've been a pro makeup artist for 26 years and counting. I still am a working artist with my crazy schedule. I still find time to have space and hold space for my personal clients and photo shoots and anything that that I'm needed for. So I've done morning news, I've done red carpet, I've done counter work, you name it, I've done every makeup associated thing possible. And I am actually going into my 8th year here at Jane Iredell, and I couldn't be more proud. All right.
Congrats. Happy anniversary.
Not quite in May.
Happy early anniversary.
Yes. All right, so let's get started with some slides. So when we look at clean beauty, we always like to talk about, what clean beauty means to us and what it means to us as a brand. And a lot of times when you look at clean beauty, it's not necessarily what's in the product, but it's what's not in the product. So if you are familiar with our brand, these little icons should just ring really familiar to you. I'm not going to go through them all just because we want to save some time for the fun stuff, the application. But I think it's always a good line of defense when you go out into the world and you're kind of deciding what you want to use on your skin. How's it going to perform? How is my skin going to react to it? And what is it going to do to my body, right? Because that's huge. You have to find products that are not going to disturb your internal, right? So we always want to make sure, and that's something that really we don't think about, but it's something that's really, really prevalent, and it's becoming more and more prevalent as we become more savvy when it comes to ingredients. All right, so you'll see these little icons on each and every one of our products. Our products are formulated without phthalates. My folks that are joining me from California, this is really, really, really important to us because, as you know, or you may not know, beginning in 2025, there's a bill in California where products that contain phthalates or manufactured with phthalates will no longer be allowed in California. That's 3 years away. And remember, or if you recall, Jane really, really launched this line in 1994. So while everyone's scrambling to kind of change their formulas, we can sit back and enjoy the show. And just be pretty, right?
We were ahead of the curve.
Yes. No talc. We got a lot of questions on, I'm a certain age. Should I use powder? Should I not use powder? We don't contain talc. So we're going to talk about our beautiful, beautiful pure press base in just a second, but I want to address talc. Talc is also something that you really want to be cognizant of when you're choosing your makeup. Talc can not only act as a toxin in the body, but it can also wreak havoc on your skin. It can enhance fine lines, it can draw moisture, it can make your skin look really dry, heavy and cakey. So again, that's something you definitely want to be aware of. No parabens, no synthetic fragrances, and no synthetic preservatives. Those are highly irritating to the skin. And of course, we have our clean and safe labeling. We have our Leaping Bunny seal of approval. So we do not test on animals. We are the animals, right?
We are the
So
animals.
you should see my desk right now, have tons of fun stuff happening. Our SPF has that seal of recommendation from the Skin Cancer Foundation. That's huge. Like, that makes me so proud. Also, our SPF is reef safe. Everything is manufactured here in the US, with the exception of our supplements. I will always put that in there, but we won't talk about those today, maybe later. Dermatologist tested, allergy tested, non-comedogenic, oil-free, only the good stuff, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I see some stuff popping in. Katie, did you want to?
Yes. So Joanne says Pure Pressed is my favorite product. Well, yes. Joanne, sneak peek, maybe we'll be talking about it tonight. And then we got a great question that I think we'll sort of speak to this when we speak about ingredients, but Judith wanted to know more curiosity about the brand, not necessarily about a hydrating product, but why are we a clean makeup company, but not necessarily 100% natural? So, we do use things like silicones in some of our products, but if you could maybe speak to something like that.
Yeah, if you think about it, things that are really in their natural state don't remain natural for a long time. You can take a blueberry and crush it. It's no longer in its natural state, right? And just because it's natural doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. I mean, let's look at poison ivy or poison oak. I mean, things like that. So there are times where, we really have to take the ingredients that are bioidentical, that our body could really recognize, and we may need to, finesse them a little bit so that we're able to wear them okay and not have any sort of reaction to the sun, like we use citrus extract, but we want to make sure that when we do use our citric extract, that us and our clients and whoever is using our product, when we go out into the sun, there's not a reaction. So a lot of times we will take those things that are found in nature, again, that our body can recognize, and we will have to buffer them with certain ingredients. So I would be a little cautious. And this, again, it's not, to bring down any line that claims to be 100% natural, but we really have to figure out what natural is and what a natural state is. Okay.
Exactly.
Hope that answered your question. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And Judith, if you have any other questions, drop us a note. I'll put our CS email in here, and they have a wealth of knowledge on that they can speak to you about as well.
Yeah. So, and I just want to touch on this too, because another question that I get that kind of falls in line with that, the minerals. People want to know, why can't we just kind of pull the minerals from the ground? Minerals from the ground contain heavy metals, and that's something that you just do not want in your system. Okay, so they're manufactured in a lab.
Yes, exactly. And we had that question, so I'll cross it off my list.
Fantastic. All righty. Okay. All right, folks. So as you can see, or maybe not, Katie and I are half baked. We have eyes on, we have no complexion. So we will be focusing on complexion, and that's going to include our Smooth Affair, our Circle Delete Concealer, our Pure Press Base, and our Calming Lavender Hydration Spray. So no worries, I'm going to go through and talk about key ingredients and the benefits of using each product while we are using them. But right now, I just want to kind of, give you just a preview of what we'll be putting on our faces today. And then we're going to handle our cheeks. So we're going to be using a combination of our Pure Press Base, our Pure Press Blush, our Glow Time Highlighter Sticks, and then we have to do those lashes because, we need our lashes. So there's our Pure Lash Extender and Conditioner, our brand new Beyond Lash Volumizing Mascara. If you have not used this, when we're done with this call, don't do it now, but when we're done, I want you to go and shop for it because it is absolutely amazing. I love mascara.
It's life-changing. It's life-changing.
And then we also are going to just top it off with some lips, our HydroPure Hyaluronic Acid Lip Treatment. So that's it. So we should get started. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
was
You're like,
born
I'm
ready."
ready. I'm ready. So I'm going to stop my share so that you can get a better look at these mugs, these faces. All right. Hello.
Here we
So
go.
first thing we're going to start with is our brand new Smooth Affair Illuminating Primer. Now, why a primer? You always want to make sure you do use a primer. It doesn't matter if you're using a liquid foundation or a powder foundation, because what it does, it gives longevity to your makeup wear, it gives adherence, and it smooths out skin tone and texture. So half of the work is done for you, actually.
Exactly. It's such a difference when I don't use primer to when I do.
Yeah, I had a question earlier about, why do I still see texture on my skin when I use my foundation? And I asked, are you using a primer? No, I'm not using a primer. Let's start there. And an analogy really quickly is what I like to kind of just coach my personal clients on is if you're going to paint a wall, you don't just put a brand new coat of paint on the wall, right? You prime it. You make sure you even it out so that whatever you put on top goes on just as smooth as the day is long. All right?
Exactly. Smooth as the day is long.
As the day is long. All right, so
Exactly.
this particular primer is our Smooth Affair Illuminating Primer.
Yes.
This
and
is
it's
such
got
a beautiful primer. It has just a little bit of a pearlescent radiance. There's some shea butter to help with transepidermal water loss. So that's going to help your skin to hold on to moisture. It has mica in it. And that mica gives that beautiful pearlescent and it gives a blurring effect to the skin. And guess what? The number one key ingredient is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, huge. It actually holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water. So everyone out there that was sending, the little notes about how cold and dehydrated their skin was, hyaluronic acid. That's going to be our theme today, hyaluronic acid.
Exactly. And we got so many questions about that in particular. So I'm glad we're starting off with the product for it. But I also wanted to say, I know a few people reached out about beauty prep, and I actually prepped my skin with our beauty prep moisturizer.
Okay,
So
fantastic, perfect.
yeah,
That's amazing. Beauty prep moisturizer is great. It helps to even out texture in the skin. It helps to brighten. You can use it as an eye cream. It helps the body to hold on to water. It just does great things for the skin, and it's great for all skin types. Non-comedogenic, so non-pore clogging.
what's not to love?
So I like to use a foundation brush for my primer. The reason is because you get a more even blend and you end up using less product and it actually lands on your hands, not in your fingers. I mean, it lands on your face, not in your fingers and not in your nails. So I'm going to have to use a mirror, sorry.
I know, I've got mine off to the side too. So, and do you always start, this is a question, this more a personal question, but do you start with the same place every time you put makeup on?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah, it's important too when you do your makeup application that you start in the center of your face, you work your way out. Another question I get is, do I need to carry my makeup all the way down to my neck? It's not a necessity if you get the proper shade match. And also by starting in the center of the face, whatever is left on the brush is going to end out on the outer perimeter of the face. So you don't have a heavy line of demarcation. And if you think about it, when people look at you, they look at you in the center of of your face, right? Well, if you're not wearing a mask.
Right. They're looking,
They're
sort of the center. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's really important to always start in the center perimeter.
Yeah.
All right. So here we are looking illuminated.
We're already looking a little more alive, a little glowy. And we already got another question. Oh, Gloria, this is a good one. My dermatologist encourages the use of SPF 60 daily. Should I moisturize, apply SPF, and then use primer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Exactly, Gloria. Keep doing what you're doing.
You are doing a perfect job. And if you notice, we used very little product because all of our products are highly concentrated, no fillers, no binders.
Exactly. And I already feel, I was looking a little dull.
Yeah.
A little gray before, but I already kind of feel that light coming back to my skin.
Yeah, that's what I would. Katie is the only person that I would show up in public for with no foundation on and no mascara.
Oh my gosh. You honor me.
All right. So we want to give the skin a little bit more life. So this is something fun that I really, really love to do. We have our Glow Time sticks. So we're going to use our highlighter sticks. before we put our foundation on. Not that you can't use this on top of our foundation, but I think it's really important to kind of just bring life and get those features popping before you put your foundation on. Exactly. So we have 5 blush shades and 3 highlighter shades. Now I'm going to opt for the shade Eclipse, which is this beautiful shimmery gold shade that you can use these on eyes, lips, and cheeks. And for my ladies out there, because I know sometimes it comes up, I have texture on my skin. I shouldn't use anything shimmery, okay? Right. These are finely milled, so it's a little bit of mica, so it gives you that more lit from within appearance. There's also some jojoba seed oil that helps it to glide on so it doesn't tug on the skin. And by using it underneath your foundation, that ensures you have that soft and subtle glow without looking too reflective if you're concerned about that.
Exactly. That was a question I had as well, was about the cream, the highlighting texture. So I didn't even have to write these down. You were just going to come to them naturally, I feel like, with your knowledge.
Hey, it's what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to use the highlighter. So with highlighting, another thing, take notes, you guys. Highlighting versus contouring. Highlighting is going to bring forth. So my big joke when I'm doing my coaching is, if you highlight it, you better like it. Right?
Okay. And we're brave tonight. So
yes, we're brave. We're working it out. We're brave. Yeah. So when you do your contouring, that's creating dimension and depth. So that's kind of pulling away and drawing back. Right. So highlighting, pushing forth, contouring. Okay. So we want our cheekbones to pop, right?
Yes, we do.
Right. So I'm gonna just go to town on my cheekbones.
Okay, I will too.
Again, eyes, lips, cheeks, body, you can use this anywhere. Now, you can keep it really simple and you can blend it in with your fingers, just like that. Or you can, if you are a brush master, you can use your brush.
I'm gonna try the brush. Do you have, a tip for brushes? Do you like to hold at the end? Do you like to hold a little bit higher up?
No, I don't really, not really, doesn't.
That question came up somewhat recently, and it was not something I'd considered because I feel like I've used a makeup brush the same way. I was going to say all my life, but since I've worn makeup, I wasn't wearing makeup as a baby, but.
Hilarious. All right, when you got it all blended.
Oh my goodness, we're so glowy.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna.
I love it. Honestly, I feel more hydrated already just from the.
It's nice to give that beauty. I mean, and theoretically, if you really were just like in a pinch and you just wanted to add a boost to your skin, make sure you do your sun protection. Yep. You could undo a little bit of concealer. You can stop right there, but we're not going to stop because we want to try some complexion, right? All right. So let's talk about this bad boy. I love Circle Delete. Love it. So Circle Delete is one, I know, right? It's a Monday. Lady, you got me on a Monday. Yeah. So we're
our friends here, I think. Yeah. We're among friends, I think, right?
Circle Delete is our dual-sided concealer that actually you can blend both shades together. Uh-oh, Miss Katie, you're frozen, my love.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. You can blend both shades together to custom create a shade if you need to. You can do your highlighting, you can do a little bit of contouring, you can do your correction, and you can do your highlighting on top, however you seem fit. So as you can see, I'm using Circle Delete 3. This is a bit warmer for me because on a deeper skin tones, a lot of times we're going to have to neutralize any sort of grayness or hyperpigmentation on the skin that shows up gray. So the key to that is using something warm to correct it. So I'm going to put that right around here and a little bit underneath my eyes. Okay. And then Katie, I see you have Circle Delete 1. Circle Delete 1 is yellow base. So anything that's yellow base is going to neutralize redness in the skin. So if you suffer with rosacea or just really just rosy cheeks or a lot of pinkness, or maybe you've gotten a laser treatment or anything like that that's causing any redness in the skin, you always want to make sure you go for something yellow base to neutralize that redness. Yes,
great. Or maybe you have a little blemish you picked at and we need to cover it? I don't know, maybe?
Yes, the blemishes. All right, I'm going to use my fancy artist tool. Okay.
Oh, wow. I'll
Right.
just be using my camouflage brush, which is also fancy, but you know.
Yeah.
And if anyone has questions, please don't hesitate. You know, we have quite a range of concealers, so please let us know. But this one we picked specifically because of its hydration factor in it. So
Yep, and I'm glad you mentioned that. The key ingredients in this, again, beautiful, beautiful. There's moringa seed oil, which is super conditioning. There's avocado, which softens and soothes and cool and kind of calms the skin. There's also sunflower seed oil, which is very nourishing for the skin. And I know you hear the oils and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, my skin is going to break out. What's going to happen? Remember, these skin oils are skin loving. Okay, so they're non-comedogenic. They're not going to clog your pores. Water soluble, but they go in to do that hydration. They're going to give that moisture to the skin. Okay, I think we have a question.
It's a very good question. So Mary said, should you avoid applying with your finger?
I would say avoid applying with your finger as much as possible. Okay, especially when you're using our products, because again, highly concentrated. So you want to make sure that you're not overusing your product.
Right, right. I think it's a good question. And I think for some people like myself, there's a little bit of a learning curve. I'm, used to just sort of throwing makeup on a little bit haphazard, but it's nice to sort of like use the tools, use them how they were intended. I always think it sort of makes me look better.
Yeah, it goes on a lot smoother too. And you'll find using your tools, you'll actually end up using less product, which is always nice.
Which is amazing. That's something nobody ever really considers. It makes your products last longer.
Yeah. So use my mirror, but
yeah. No, totally fine. And so, but on that, I always, and you can correct me if I'm doing something wrong, but I always kind of blend my under eye concealer with my finger. How do you feel about that?
You absolutely can. So in the artist world, around the eye area is called an area of motion. So that means that it moves a lot. Okay, so sometimes you can get a little creasing, especially if something is very hydrating. So it's nice to take if you're going to use your finger, use your ring finger, because it is the weakest finger on the hand, so you won't damage the eye. Okay, and that way you can kind of warm it up to your skin and you're good to go.
Love that. Great. An area of movement, or motion? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, area of motion.
Motion. Okay, I'm gonna adopt that and pretend I know what I'm talking about. And
yes,
is Circle Delete your favorite concealer?
Circle Delete is one of my favorites. I like to use it in the winter time because I tend to get a lot. I have normal to oily skin, but the winter time around my eyes, for whatever reason, it gets so dry. And exactly. As we age, that's the area that goes first because it's the thinnest. There's only one layer of skin there. That's why you always want to be really, really nice and really, really cautious when putting product around your eye area. You only want to use products that are specifically made for your eye area around
the eye area. Exactly. Yeah, because I tend to get dry right at sort of the bottom part of my under eye, and I think it's sometimes because I use too much retinol. So I really like products like this that are so hydrating, and I really have seen a difference since I'll take a break from the retinol or actives or something like that. Use some very nice skincare and skincare makeup, maybe from Jane Iredale, and maybe, and I really see a difference. It's very remarkable. I always feel.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's like there's 7 layers here, 1 layer here. So that's why we always want to be very cautious when we're trying to use face products, like face lotions rather, around the eye area.
Exactly.
So Circle Delete is my favorite, and I also am in love with Enlighten Plus as well. Enlighten Plus is another great concealer.
Okay? It has the SPF in it, which I love.
So that's why I kind of switch in the summertime for that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great tip. I love that.
All right. So before we move on to the star of the show, do we have any questions about any step that we've done so far? So we got a little bit of cheeks going. We have our primer. We have our concealer. We're looking healthy and dewy and good. Yes.
Trying to hold everything up that we've used so far. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm already feeling, a little bit more alive, a little bit more put together. You know, I wouldn't be worried about scaring anyone I see on the street.
Okay, fantastic.
We got another question. Oh, okay. Shauna wants to know if there's hyperpigmentation to cover on the cheek area, is it better to apply concealer before or after blush and highlighter?
You want to, if there is hyperpigmentation on the cheek area, you're going to do your concealer, you're correcting first.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So you always want to make sure you correct first.
Correct first. Okay. Got it.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to move on?
Let's see. Oh, well, I mean, this is kind of a fun personal to you, personal to me. How do you choose one color of the highlighter over the others?
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Katie and I actually, ironically enough, we chose the same shade. So what I love about these particular blush sticks is the fact that they're so universal that, you know, I'm on the deeper end, what you're like, fair or light, or what category are you? Yeah.
I think fair. Usually I say just pink because my skin's typically just always red.
Oh, crazy lady. Yeah.
I know.
So
Anyway.
that's the beauty of Jane. I mean, there's something for everyone.
Exactly.
And not all brands could say that.
No, they can't. Yes, exactly. Oh, Shifra. Oh, Shifra, I think, has come to almost every class, but she says, I love both concealers, Enlighten Plus and Circle Delete. So you've got great taste, Shifra.
That's amazing. All right. So.
Right. I'm ready.
Yes. So this may or may not look familiar. But we are going through no, hold it up, lady.
Yes.
So before, after. So stay tuned.
Yes, please stay tuned. I'm trying not to get our reflection in here, but yes, this is a huge sneak peek.
Yes.
Well, some of you probably already have it, but
our brand new refillable compact, recyclable. It's light. It keeps my powder safe.
It's gorgeous. Somebody said, I was talking to somebody about it recently, and they said it looked like AirPods.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I love that.
It's pretty fancy.
It's beautiful.
It's sleek. It makes me happy. So we did not do anything to the formula, so have no fear. We are just updating the packaging. And if you've been with us a while, you'll see a lot of changes coming through with the packaging. Much more modern, much more fresh, and it's just exciting. I'm just so excited.
Oh, we got plenty. Okay. Oh, there's so much excitement. And Danielle asked, when using glow time on your eyelids, how do you make it stay longer? So if we were to use the highlighter or the blush on our eyes.
So less is more. And I always like to put a powder that's kind of in the same shadow family with it.
Yes.
And that just makes it pop even more.
And Rachel asked, can we continue to use the old packaging with refills?
Absolutely.
I can answer that for you. I've got the old packaging. I haven't gotten a new compact yet. I'm very excited to. I know you're just fancier than I am.
It helps to be an education.
I think so.
But hey,
everybody loves the new pack. We're so happy to hear that.
Oh my gosh.
Love it. So much, thought was put into it. So it's going to be good.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about this Pure Press Base and why this is our #1 selling foundation. Folks, we sell one of these every 60 seconds globally. I mean, that blows me away. And there's
every
a reason.
60 seconds.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. It's great for all skin types. I know that there's this big misconception that a drier skin can't use our Pure Press Base. Not true. It's more of a semi-matte finish. How to use this as an after? Okay, so we'll get to that in just a second.
You sure will.
We'll talk about that in just a second. But again, more of a semi-matte finish, finely milled. It contains algae extract, so it's going to keep your skin hydrated. No talc, right? So it's not going to enhance any texture on the skin. Yes. There's great antioxidant protection. There's that pine bark. There's that pomegranate extract, and then there's that SPF that's actually 40 minutes water resistant. Now, if you're on the deeper side of the spectrum, our SPF is a 15. On the lighter side of the spectrum, it's an SPF of 20. And the reason why is because we had to lower the levels of titanium so it wouldn't show up gray on the skin. But that's okay. Again, 40 minutes water resistant is hydrating. It doesn't show texture. It's more of a skin-like finish, and it's buildable. You can also use this as a concealer as well. We opted for using our cream concealer because we want a little bit more hydration today, but by all means, you can absolutely use this as a concealer.
Can use it pretty much for everything. It won't do your taxes for you, but it'll good. But we're going to answer a couple of these questions as we start to apply. So Shamsa will answer your question in just a second. And Danielle asked, do you recommend wearing SPF under for extra coverage, or is it sufficient on its own?
It's sufficient on its own. I mean, honestly, you're fully covered. It gives full UVA and UV protection. So what that means is there are two different types of rays that the sun will put out, right? So there's the aging rays, and then there are the actual burning rays. Right. So when you're looking for an SPF, whether it's ours or another brand, or your what you get from your derm, you always want to make sure that you're getting that full spectrum protection, and you want physical. These are physical blocks, so it actually blocks out the rays. It doesn't absorb the sun and the heat, essentially creating a heat trap underneath the skin.
Fascinating. I love it. It's I know you're going to get extra glowy. And I couldn't find my flux sponge, so I'm going to use my handy.
That's fine. And talk about tools. Now, this is where I kind of get a little sticky when we talk about tools. Our mineral powders are micronized. So a couple of things there. That's why you always want to make sure you use the proper tools when it comes to our amazing base or a pure press base. That includes the handy brush. It's cut perfectly at the top, so you'll pick up the perfect amount of powder. You won't have that little hole in the middle of your powder. And also, there is no buffing involved in Jane Iredale mineral powders. The reason is because we have no fillers and no binders like most brands do. And what happens is if you get in there and just start buffing and going to town, you'll end up polishing the mineral. So it'll look a little strange on the skin, almost a greeny gray. It is buildable. So on one side, I'm gonna use my handy brush, but on the other side of my face, I'm gonna actually use my flux sponge in a press and roll. I tend to do that every day because I like more coverage. I don't use a whole lot of, you can say I didn't use any liquid on my face, but I do use concealer in area. So I tend to make up with it with the pure press base.
And you said you press and roll?
Yeah. So with the handy brush, you're going to just do a downward motion.
Yep.
I'm getting a lot of light here. Oh my goodness.
And I mean, I just love it. It just takes away any redness I have. You can just kind of see from one side of my face to the other. It already looks like I put an airbrush filter on. I feel like just from this cheek to this cheek.
Yeah, it's so beautiful because it's more like a skin-like finish. I remember the first time that I actually took a photo and put it on my Instagram from when I used my pure press base. I got so many phone calls. My friends were like, "Dude, what's that on your skin?
What is it? Yeah,
good skin. But what are you wearing? I mean, your skin looks like skin, but I know you have makeup."
Yeah.
So, and then for my press and roll folks, you can take that flux sponge and press and roll it, and that gives a fuller coverage.
I love that. We got a great question. This came in, there were some pre-submitted questions along these lines, and we've sort of touched on it, but Jane, not Jane Iredale, a different one, she asked, it could be Jane in disguise, if you are over 60, should you still use powders if you have fine lines?
Ms. Jane, I will say this, you can use our powder.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm not, I'm not being flip. It's just really, that's why, again, I am so in love with this particular product and our products as a whole, because they never read heavy on the skin.
Right.
It's for all skin types, all ages. make sure you prime with your Smooth Affair primer.
Yep.
Perhaps you want to use the brightening primer because you may want a little bit more hydration and a little bit more dewiness to the skin, and then sealing it with that hydration spray. Absolutely.
Exactly. And Laura just asked, can you use well, this is what Nichelle was illustrating here, but can you use a makeup sponge for application with the pressed powder?
Yeah, you don't want to use anything that's absorbent because what'll happen is all your product will get absorbed. So opt for a flock sponge. This is something that we all have, and we do offer online, and we do offer in our partner locations as well. A flock sponge is where it's at.
Exactly. The texture of that is so unique. It's like fun to sort of like squeeze even as you're applying. It's nice.
Yeah, because it places product. It doesn't absorb your product, and that's what you want to make sure. Okay. All right. One more question.
Let's see here. Okay, this is a good one. So the press and roll motion, can you maybe speak to that a little bit more? This question says, I was taught that you have to apply this in straight lines so it lays like shingles on a roof.
Yeah, so that's when you're using the brush, right? Yeah. But when you use your flock sponge, you're going to press it into the skin and just simply roll it. Okay. The notion really is about not buffing it into the skin. All right.
And not going upwards to disrupt the hair on your face. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We all have those little micro hairs. How do you recommend cleaning your flock sponge?
The spocked flunge? The flock sponge.
The flock sponge. Lady, we are batting 1,000 today.
We are. Thank you again, everyone, for being with us on a Monday.
You actually can use your facial cleanser.
There you go.
And lay it on your counter to dry.
Yeah, because you're using it to wash your face. Why not your tools, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to make sure I have my mirror here.
These are great questions. Thank you, everyone. We're getting a lot of these questions have sort of come through, and we'll get to them. But the question about the fine lines specifically in powder, I feel like we can't shout it enough. These powders are so good for your skin, but they won't settle into any fine lines. They won't make you look cakey or age you. They really just sort of make you look clean, airbrushed. I feel like I look more rested when I wear pure pressed.
Yeah. And it was Jane that asked that question. Again, Jane, there's algae extract in our powders, and that actually draws moisture to the skin, and it helps your skin to hold on to moisture. So please have no fear.
Yes.
And if you prefer something that's more of it, maybe a little bit more of an illuminating finish, like more luminous on the skin, you can always opt for the Amazing Base. That's going to bring more luminosity to the skin. Okay. All right. Okay.
Perfect. So we are pressed and powdered, almost ready to take on the world.
Yes, and I'm going to just add a little bit more color to my cheeks.
Sure.
So I know you're going to opt for the Glow Time blush stick in Aura, and I actually am going to opt for our powder blush in Mystique. So you can.
What was that? Would you show that?
That packaging again. And I don't know how I managed to set up shop without a dome brush. So I'm going to just use my handy brush.
All right. That works for me. I'm going to use the blending contour with my Glow Time stick. I'm using Aura.
Really quick.
And how important would you say blush is? And what is your favorite Jane Iredale blush?
So blush is very important because when you do your foundation, remember, unless you're going to do that under painting that we did, your skin lays flat. So blush is nice because it brings dimension to the face. It kind of brings your color back. My favorite powder blush is Mystique, which I'm like literally running from the sun. I apologize if there's a glare. Mystique is my favorite shade of powder blush. I also love Sunset and the Glow Time sticks. I love all of them.
It's hard to pick just one. I keep coming back to Aura because it gives me this sort of like warm, goldeny bronze vibe that I feel like I would love to aspire to be in real life, that I'm just sort of on a beach. somewhere just always looking golden and bronzed and unbothered.
Hey, you live in New York, girl.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we do some hydration spray? We're going to do some lips and we're going to do some lashes really quick because there's something I want to share about lashes that we always forget when we talk about hydration. We never talk about lashes.
We sure don't. But did you mention hydration spray?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. Who has tried the new Calming Lavender Hydration Spray? Anyone? Let me know.
Anyone? Raise your hand, sign off, shout out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Lavender is essential for my folks that were saying, oh, nope.
Well, Rosa, hopefully after this, you will be inspired.
Yes. Lavender is essential when it comes to handling dehydration, redness, irritated skin, angry skin, cold skin. Lavender is amazing. Yep. Now, there's some key ingredients. Everyone loves pomegranate. But if you really, really are struggling with redness and dryness in the skin, Calming Lavender is amazing. A couple of different key ingredients here. Of course, we have our lavender that's going to address that redness. There's sage that actually helps with fine lines and wrinkles.
Yes.
There's chamomile. Chamomile soothes irritation. It calms redness in the skin. And there's maramaze. Maramaze also helps with redness. It helps with visibly bringing skin back to life when it suffers from dryness and dehydration on the surface. So again, the reason for the hydration sprays, guys, is really to lock your minerals in. It gives minerals adherence to the skin. Now, I would 100% say before we were all in our masking business that it makes your makeup non-transferable. Now that masking is hitting and missing, it's less likely to transfer. Fair enough?
Yes, totally fair.
Okay.
Yes, I'm aligned.
Thank you. All right. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lock everything in. Okay. Now, remember, this is something I haven't done mascara. So I always like to do my hydration spray before I do my mascara.
For your mascara, that's a great tip. And I'm curious to see your spray pattern.
Oh,
I love it.
It's just spray. You can also carry this in your bag if you want to do a refresh in the afternoon and you don't necessarily want to touch up your makeup, but you just kind of want to refresh your skin. This is also a great thing to use.
Yes. Oh, so we got some questions, comments coming in. Rachel wants to know why spray before mascara.
Because you don't want your mascara to disturb. Remember, we don't waterproof anything because too many chemicals to waterproof. So we want to make sure a mascara stays where we put it.
Love it. What would you say the lavender, would you say the lavender is the most prevalent scent? So I guess all of those sprays are fairly strong, but within this particular one, you're smelling lavender the most, right?
Absolutely. But remember, the scents always will dissipate because we boil the essentials, but we capture the steam to create our hydration sprays. So you're going to get that scent, but then it's going to dissipate.
Yes, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, I just purchased the Amazing Base Loose Powder Refillable Brush SPF. Glad you did. One of my faves, as an aside. When is the best time to use it?
The hydration spray or the Amazing Base?
I'm sorry, the Amazing Base brush.
Oh, the Amazing Base brush, that again it's basically like the Pure Press powder. It can work as your foundation, your concealer, your SPF protection, your antioxidant protection. So you would use it in place of the Pure Press base. The difference is going to be finish. So the finish is going to be more luminous. So fantastic for, if you have drier or dehydrated skin.
Yes, exactly. All right, before we move on. Oh, Angelica says, I was first introduced to Jane Iredale over 20 years ago. I love Jane. The powder is awesome. I know you're talking about new packaging, but I love the classic metal pressed container. We did too, but we really think you're going to like this new compact. It's stunning. Let's see. I sprayed after mascara last night. It was all good. Great.
Fantastic.
Love it. And Mary, yes, it's not our new mascara is not technically waterproof, but I haven't really had any issues with it.
But I just always like to kind of give that safeguard. All right.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
let's do some lips, lady. All right. So, again, lips, we have to stay hydrated. I got a great question in that group of questions that we saw a little earlier, and it was about lip treatments. And the person expressed that they've used several different types of lip treatments, but their lips always seem to be dry. I will say this, anytime that petroleum is the base of your lip product, your lips will constantly be dry. Okay. So what petroleum does, it actually just sits on the surface. It doesn't do anything. It may give a little viscosity, a little shine, but again, we use those bioidentical ingredients that our body can actually recognize. So with our new hyaluronic acid lip
new treatment, you
our
say,
HydroPure, yes. Again, hyaluronic acid, it acts as a humectant, so it's going to draw moisture to your lips. There's also those beautiful oils that we use. We use jojoba seed oil, so that's also going to attract the moisture. I love. Is it Shifra? I don't want to butcher your name.
Is Shifra, is that how we say it?
Yes, Shifra. Okay, fantastic. I love that. She's like, I love that too. I love that too.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
We love the participation. That's why these are so fun. I love the Jane fans that join with us.
So there's shea butter, there's mango seed oil, there's castor seed oil. So those are all things that the body's like, you know what? I know what to do with that. So this is going to be like the ultimate hydration. This is very reparative. So again, this is something you can use at nighttime to sleep on your lips. Daytime underneath any of your lipsticks. We're going to just simply use it as a lip color because we're going to pair it with our lip liners. Now, you guys, here's a fun fact about our lip liners. Our lip liners contain vitamin E. So vitamin E, again, super conditioning for the lips. So this is a win-win situation if you want to just kind of create something really good for your lips with a little color. Okay?
Exactly. And what shade are you using of lip
I'm
pencil?
using Cocoa. So this is a really neutral brown that works great with my skin tone.
And I'm using Spice. I haven't yet. This is what I use every day. It's my favorite. I'm not down to the nub yet, but we're good.
Fantastic.
And I love that they just glide on too, because I can really tell they're hydrating by how easily they go on.
Yeah, there's never any tugging or anything with our lip liners, which I absolutely love.
Exactly.
Spice, she loves it.
Oh, Stacy, I love it too. One of my favorite things is when people talk when they're putting lip products on and it starts that weird voice like that. Anyway.
Shifra says she wishes there was an orange lip liner. Oh, yes, because our peach got discontinued, unfortunately.
Yes. Well, thank you for saying that. We can let our development team know. So, all right, let me put this on. Sorry, I got distracted by how much I love lip liners. So
that's okay. I'm going to start talking lashes.
Yes, because we got some questions about application, about the formula. So please take us away.
All right. So I want to talk about lashes. We always think about peach wasn't orange enough. I'm sorry. Well, stay tuned. We may have something coming.
Yeah.
I'm sure our marketing and our product development team, they may be on the call. Who knows?
One never knows.
So, thank you. So, lashes. When we think about hydration, oftentimes we think about under eye area, we think about our skin, we forget about our lashes. Our lashes are hair. What happens to our hair in the wintertime? It gets dry, it gets brittle as well, right? So we got something for that. First thing is our Pure Lash Primer. This is amazing. Okay. This is our lash primer that you can use to pre-extend and pre-curl your lashes. It also helps your lashes to stay hydrated. There's hydrolyzed wheat protein to help strengthen. There's also Pathanol, which is fantastic for strengthening. And guess what? You can sleep in this as a nighttime treatment for lashes and brows as well. So I'm going to do a quick little swipe of this.
Okay. And which eye do you start with?
I tend to start on the right side for whatever reason. Strange.
I start on my left.
Are you left-handed?
I'm not. Isn't that weird?
Okay. Huh. No. Someone just asked about something about
Shifra asked, great question. Does the lash primer have to dry before putting on mascara?
This is what I like to do. I love to use, do one eye first, and
Okay.
then do the second eye, and go back to my original eye where it's not quite dry just yet
Okay.
with my mascara.
Love that. And then everyone asking about how to apply, Michelle will sort of talk through that when she puts the Beyond Lash on.
The lash conditioner? Yeah.
The Beyond Lash. A few
Oh,
people have been
okay.
asking for tips on that. Teresa will answer your question about lips in just a second as well. I'll let you focus on your lashes. So you do.
This is serious business, you guys.
Serious business.
I think I would be a millionaire if I could find a way to put mascara on without looking silly.
I know. Even when I try and train myself, I just look like I look really grim. I'm not doing it. Yes, Stacy, sleep in the lash conditioner. We love it.
Yes, for your lashes and your brows. Let's see.
So there was a question or two about Beyond Lash and potentially having it clump during the application. So what tips would you have for that?
So let me talk about why it's so good first, and then we'll talk about any troubleshooting, right? So Beyond Lash is our brand new formula, our vegan formula, bold color payoff without the coal tar dyes or the shellacs or the Teflons. Instead, we use things like rice bran extract that helps to give that flexibility to your lashes. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Can you
amazing.
See
yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
There's also some bamboo stem extract that helps to give the lashes that volume, that vroom. And then it's also conditioning. There's coconut oil. Sorry. There's jojoba seed oil. There's castor oil.
Don't make me laugh when I'm putting mascara on.
Super nourishing avocado and jojoba seed oil. Okay, the mascara clumps of me have to, okay. So with this particular mascara, it's really important. What I find is, usually when we go in our mascaras, we like to kind of wiggle it around. I just simply unscrew it and pull it out.
Okay.
And that keeps the wand clean. Okay.
Yeah.
The product gathers on the brush very easily on its own. So you don't have to manipulate it like you do with most mascaras.
Right.
So I kind of had to train myself because no, Gloria, I don't tend to do that. But if that's something that you want to do, absolutely. Gloria's asking if she should put the Pure Lash extender and conditioner on the bottom lashes as well. My bottom lashes naturally they tend to be even longer than my upper lashes. So yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
So yes, if that's something, go for it all the way.
Yeah.
So
Michelle's putting hers on. I've got the lash conditioner on and then one coat of the Beyond Lash. And I liked it. Mascara is my favorite beauty product, so I always kind of take my time with it. I haven't had any clumping issues, but I think that's a good tip when you just pull it out. You don't have to wiggle it, or there's no more wiggling. Maybe we should have used that in the marketing campaign.
No need to wiggle.
Yeah, and I also like to put it over the lash conditioner too for that extra hydration, like you were talking about our hair in winter getting so brittle and dry as well.
Yeah, so I hope that works for you. I think it was like 3 or 4 people that asked about that.
Joan, and then I think Shipper might have mentioned it too. So
okay. So again, when you go to open your mascara, I'm gonna just do it, and it's probably gonna be a disaster, but that's okay. I'm gonna take it for the team. Katie, you do have beautiful lashes.
Thank you. I got them from my mom.
Typically, you do this, but with this particular mascara, again, it loads up pretty well on its own, so you don't need to do that. But just simply do a simple pull when you open it, and then there's less product, and you don't get the clump there.
That's right? Yeah, exactly. I don't get the that kind of the excess at the base or at the tip that way. And then we make our mascara faces.
Yes, we make
and then
mascara.
Nichelle, do you have a preference when you put mascara on? Do you do like the rock and wiggle? Do you blink onto your lashes? What's your best sort of mascara application?
You know what, for me, I think I love the stamping. So stamping is when you get very close to the lash line and you kind of stamp it literally on that lash line.
Yeah.
I typically don't do an upper liner for my lashes. I just did a quick little smoky eye today because I knew I wasn't going to have mascara on.
Yeah.
But typically I just kind of stamp it and then work it up.
Oh, Mary, that's interesting. She said my first tube was clumpy. It might have been the 90-degree delivery time. Today it's -20. Wow. Send us an email if you would, Mary, and we'll work it out with you. I think we want to ask a couple more questions. It's I'll send you the email address in our Zoom chat. But otherwise, we're lashed.
We're lashed.
I always like I like try and open my eyes dramatically, and I don't really need to because I feel like it's such. And somebody mentioned the color payoff. It's so beautiful. It's this gorgeous rich black, which I still kind of can't believe it's a good for you clean mascara, like the payoff alone, the color payoff alone.
The color payoff, again, no coal tar dyes, no Teflons, no shellacs. It's just that beautiful, beautiful rich black vegan formula. Okay, it's amazing what mascara does for the lashes. It just whoop, opens your eyes. All right, so with that being said, we are done. Do we have any more questions? Any additional questions?
A couple more questions, one of which somewhat related. We were talking about lips a little bit back. Oh, Teresa asked, well, it's not related, but we'll ask anyway. My lips naturally have a very pink hue. It tends to alter the color, the look of the color I'm applying. Any tricks to get a more true appearance of what I'm applying? Oh, I love that question.
You can do your Pure Press base or your foundation of choice on your lips first, and then apply your lip product.
Love that. I muted myself. I'm sorry. So Mary said, on cold mornings, should I warm my mascara under warm water? So I suppose if it's very cold in your home.
No, there's no need to do that because again, you know, if you warm it up too much, there's that avocado and that jojoba seed oil. I would just be afraid that it would just make it it would disturb the formula. So be cautious of that one.
Yes, that's a great one. I'm just sending that email off. And Nichelle, I'm going to share your social in our chat and we just got some good questions. Yes, this recording will be available tomorrow on our YouTube channel, or probably by tomorrow evening once we get the video edited. If you have to leave, that's totally fine. If you've already left, that's fine. Oh, this is a wonderful question. I've actually wondered this too. Emily wants to know regarding the lash conditioner, is it best to have one bottle for lashes and one bottle for brows? No,
you can use them both.
Great.
Use them for both, I should say. Use them for both.
Ooh, we're getting lots of great questions here. Angelica wants to know, would you recommend lash primer after doing lash lift as a take home? So if you've gotten a service?
Absolutely, I would do that. And also a great way to utilize it is if you are moving away from lash extensions and you're taking a little bit of a break. Great way to kind of recondition your lashes. Or if you're using Latisse or any of the growth serums, it's also a great addition to those as well.
Great. So I just shared, if you don't know your local Jane retailer, I just linked to that. I shared Nichelle's social as well. We've been talking for an hour. Did you realize that?
No.
I didn't either. Well, I guess we can start to wrap up, but I am having so much fun. Yes. So wait. We got another one. Oh, yes. Great question, Kathy. Conventional mascara expires in 3 months. How long does Beyond Lash last?
Again, mascara is something that it can be a little tricky. So I always advise to change your mascara every 3 months.
Yes. There you go. Great. Shamsha, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly. You should get an email of this. If not, it will be on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Jane Iredale. It looks like Jamie raised her hand, but I don't see a question. So if you have a question, please feel free to type it in the Q&A or the chat box. But I was going to go over the products that we went through for our hydration station, as I like to call it. Yeah. We started with our Smooth Affair Illuminating Glow, right? Yes. Full of hyaluronic acid goodness. And then, did we get another question here? Sorry, my Zoom's frozen. Are you with me?
Good,
Yes.
Melissa.
Okay.
I'm so glad. So glad. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it so much.
We do. So we used our Smooth Affair. We used our Circle Delete. I used shade 1.
And I used 3.
That was easy enough. And I used, we both used our camouflage brush, but Michelle also used her fancy spatula to get it out. And then we used our Pure Press base.
Yeah.
I used the old compact. Somebody used a Special Peak compact. Yes. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention is we underpainted with our Glow Time sticks. We both used the shade Eclipse. But, you know, I think that just sort of, I feel, like you said, I'm lit from within. I don't feel like glittery. I just sort of feel, you can see that little bit of highlight there as I shake my head back and forth like a loon.
Enough, and I'm getting like, the sun is like, hi, I'm here.
Yes, exactly. Hello. Kathy, great question. So the new compacts are available at our retailers now. Is that correct, Michelle?
Our partner locations, yes.
Our partner locations. And then they'll be launching at the end of February on janeiredale.com. Let's see. Oh, we used our Pure Pressed. We used our blush. You used Pure. I love the new packaging. I'm so jealous. And did you, yeah, the new refill has Jane's signature in it. How charming is that?
Well, great.
I used our Glow Time stick in Aura. And what did we do after that? We did mascara.
And we did our lips.
We did our lips. We used our new Calming Lavender Hydration Spray, which we love. Oh, we got 2 really good questions. Heather, I love this question because it's relevant to me.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Very good.
Would the conditioner help overplucked brows with growth?
Theoretically, we cannot say that.
Yeah.
What I can say that there are ingredients to help strengthen hair on lashes and brows.
Yes. I'm not allowed to say that either, but I used to not have eyebrow tails. So
we're just going to park that right there.
We're going to say it right there. And then Mary, yes, we will have, I'm very excited about our upcoming classes in the next few months. We will have a class covering eyeshadows. We might not have a masterclass specifically on brows. Michelle and I came with our brows done, but if that's something that's of interest to the group, we can definitely work on that aside from social content and email content. Let's see here. Did any new ones come in? Grace said it helped her brows grow back, so we'll just leave it at that. But back to our look. For our lips, we both used our new HydroPure Hyaluronic Acid lip treatment. I used our lip liner in Spice, and you used our
Cocoa.
And Cocoa. And then we did our fabulous lashes, if I do say so myself. We started with our Pure Lash conditioner, which my packaging's a little beaten up, and then our Beyond Lash Volumizing Mascara.
And just remember, again, just pull the wand out. You don't need to wiggle on the inside. That's going to overload the product.
That's such a good tip, and it's something I really have to like work to not do that. I don't. It's one of those things like, who taught us to do that? We just collectively.
Especially if you're used to using our longest lash in the squeezable tube, that's something you had to load the brush up first. Yes. So I think we kind of have to just flip our minds. It's okay.
Yeah, flip our minds, exactly. Good questions keep rolling in. Should we replace the eyelash conditioner or the lash conditioner every 3 months?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Anything around the eye area, lash conditioner, mascara, please, every 3 months.
Shifra, yes, we both did the lip liner first and then the lip treatment. For makeup removing products, what might you suggest from Jane?
I have one in my desk. This is our Beauty Prep cleansing
Yes.
waters.
It's very glowy today.
I know. I am so sorry, you guys. I forgot to shut my blinds. I forgot.
What everybody on the West Coast is probably dealing with it too. For me, it's pitch black out here. So
Oh gosh.
like my eyelashes.
So micellar water, cucumber extracts, so calming, soothing, but also loads of hydration without an oily residue. You can actually, like, if you wanted to refresh your makeup, you can use this, take your makeup off, and just work right on top, and it won't disturb your makeup application.
That. And then generally with mascara, do you think that this, I know introducing too much air will dry it out, but could that potentially make it clumpy as well?
Yes, absolutely, because it'll make the product really, really dry.
So that's another reason to not, swirl it around in there. Shifra, Nichelle was using our beauty prep. Was that the
beauty
cleanser?
prep cleanser?
Yes. Yes.
Someone was asking about makeup removal, Shifra.
Yes. All right. Well, if we didn't get to your question, you'll get an email. You can respond after this class. It might come out tomorrow. Please feel free to respond there. You can ask us on social. And Nichelle's Instagram I added here. This video will also be on YouTube if you'd like to rewatch it at any time. Spend another Monday night with us. But thank you all so much for joining. Nichelle, what a delightful way to kick off the week.
I brought the sunshine with me.
You did. I'm so happy you did. And safe travels this week.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys so much for attending and spending your Monday evening. I'm so happy.
I know, this was great. I need to figure out, what am I going to do tonight? Go to the store?
Trader Joe's is always a good place.
You're right. Right.
Thank you, everyone, again. Oh, Maria. Oh, our Maria showed up. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Okay,
Happy,
take
healthy.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.